Catherine Townsend of Minneapolis was named Queen of Laughter in 1961. In addition to physical beauty, the jury also assessed the loudness of the contestants' laughter. Breeder Virginia Moon shows her ostrich named Rainfall before an ostrich race, 1915, United States. Italian soldiers on a platform for firing rockets at enemy aircraft, Venice, 1915. High school football players practice in Chicago, 1902. A telephone operator announces the exact time every 15 seconds. Chicago, 1928. Robert De Niro with his father in 1946. Sharp autochrome shot of a Russian girl dressed in traditional clothes in Crimea, Russian Empire, 1910s. A Bichran soldier taken by the Zangaki brothers, Greek photographers, active in Egypt between 1870 and 1890. Tanks at the Government House, Moscow, 1993. A German street performer balances a seated soldier on his chin. Berlin, 1919. James Varney and Robin Williams backstage at the comic relief comedy special, 1989. Wounded crewman of B-17 Flying Fortress. Old Ironsides poses amid the damage that resulted from a mid-air collision with another B-17 during a mission over Palermo, Italy in 1943. An improvised armored car on the streets of Havana, 1933. John Schrank under arrest for attempting to assassinate Theodore Roosevelt in Milwaukee, 1912. John F. Kennedy Center at around 6 or 7 holds a Toy Billy Club and is dressed in a police officer costume outside the Kennedy's Brookline, Massachusetts family home, while Eunice Kennedy Wright looks on sometime in 1923 or 1924. Russians eat American-style pizza for the first time from a food truck in Moscow, 1988. Claudia Cannadine in Austerlitz, 1960. Orson Welles at the premiere of his new movie, May 1st, 1941. Drew Barrymore, the it girl of the 1990s. A recently released Jewish prisoner attacks a German guard in 1945. Mixed family posing for their group portrait. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, circa 1940s. Claudia Cardinale, 1962. A state police officer with the club in hand overtakes a white segregationist as African Americans attempted to swim and were attacked by a large group of whites at St. Augustine Beach, Florida, on June 25, 1964. A Soviet tanker pours vodka for a British sapper, May 1945. Two young people giving flowers to two police officers at the Monterey International Pop Festival, 1967. NVA soldiers dash across the open ground near Strategic Highway 9 in southern Laos during Operation Lam Son 719, the South's failed attempt to cut the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Sally Mansfield sitting beside Garco robot. Louis Armstrong in the late 1920s. Nunes and Boat. Driver's Ed class in 1984. Linda Cardellini, 1999. Smolenskaya Square, Moscow, 1993. Man juggling his own head's unidentified French artist circa 1880. John Goodman with his daughter in 1990. The winner of Miss Indian America, 1954. The Mercury 7. This was NASA's first group of space travelers, here gathered for a photo during their survival training exercises in Nevada. 1960. Father throws baby into the air, 1969. Two French colonial troops parading with a German flag, Liberation of France, 1944. Cheryl Gue, 17, quieted her son Michael with a bottle. Although the sound of crying babies was a normal disruption at Citrus, the more vocal ones were usually hustled out of class. The school was equipped with playpens, cribs, and toys. Edgar Mitchell photographs Alan Shepard holding the American flag on the moon's surface during the Apollo 14 mission. February 1971. Princess Ileana of Romania in the 1920s. The guy put a crab in his swimming trunks. A protest installation by AIDS activist group ACT UP, which shows an empty quote from Ronald Reagan representing his perceived silence on AIDS. Reichstag Fire Incident 1933. David Bowie, New York, 1996. British colonial official Maurice Vidal Portman with Andamanese chiefs around 1880. Matthew Perry in 1990. Elizabeth Taylor near the Shah Chirag Temple in Iran, 1976. President Lyndon Johnson shakes hands with Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. on July 3, 1964 in Washington, District of Columbia, after handing him a pen during the ceremonies for the signing of the Civil Rights Bill at the White House. A pre-war junior trainer microcar on the street of an English city. Photo from 1948. Japanese torpedo bomber explodes in air after direct hit by 5-inch shell from United States aircraft carrier as it attempted an unsuccessful attack on carrier off Kwajalein, 1943. The reusable shopping list from the 1920s. School rubbish bin in Hellersdorf, East Berlin, June 1991. The orchestra plays in a trench for the crew of a Maxim machine gun. Jim Cates and Jeffrey Cowan, both volunteers for the Freedom Summer Project, carrying 2 African-American boys on their shoulders, July 1964. School children in besieged Leningrad assemble machine guns for the front at the linotype plant, 1942. Princess Diana, 1985 and weapons training. Michael J. Fox and his stunt, double Charlie Crutchwell on the set of Back to the Future Part 3, 1989. Alice Springs by Helmut Newton for Depeche Mode, 1971. Steve Carell as a brochure model in 1988. Secret Service agent Bob Foster leads Caroline Kennedy on a ride with macaroni. Germany's last hope. German child soldiers of the Volkssturm and Hitler Youth that were captured during the Battle of Berlin. The NSDAP desperately used children to fight towards the end of World War II. May 1945. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Donna Summer, 1977, Los Angeles. Roller skate trick in Venice Beach in the late 1970s. Police officers drag away activists of the ACT-UP coalition who had been protesting outside of City Hall. New York, New York, March 28, 1989. Anti-theft protection, 1980s, USSR. The Guerrilla, 1927. Coin-operated radio outside barbershop, 1922. Alfred Hitchcock, 1920. (1965), the Beatles are awarded the Order of the British Empire at Buckingham Palace for outstanding contribution to the welfare of Great Britain. Acrobats with baby at the Muscle Beach, 1949. This is about the legendary footballer Diego Maradona at the 1986 World Cup. Cops breaking a protest in Lafayette Square across Pennsylvania Avenue, White House, Washington, 5 of November 1968. November 5 was presidential and congressional election day. Pilgrims on Mount Fuji, 1886, Yokohama, Japan. Shower hood that protected hair and makeup while in the shower. Some 5,000 workers watched the launching of astronaut John H. Glenn Jr. into orbit around the world on a huge television screen in Grand Central Terminal on February 20, 1962. Adolf Hitler and Eva with Ursula Uschi Schneider. Robin Williams spending all day signing autographs at a homeless shelter in Boston, 1988. Marines examine the M24, a 2X training aid for the M1 Garand rifle. Paris Island, 1952. Gillian Anderson, 1990s. an apparatus with pillory on top and whipping post below, used from the colonial period until the early 1800s, resided in Baltimore's first courthouse on Calvert Street, between Lexington and Fayette Street, New County Castle, Delaware. David Bowie yearbook photo. Angelina Jolie in Mojave Moon, 1996. Arrested for polygamy, Utah's Sugar House Prison, 1889. Ronald Reagan and friends partying on a ranch somewhere in the 1970s. A mother poses with her child for a portrait. Eva Brown in a surprisingly modern-looking outfit. She loved to take pictures of herself and Adolf playing with local animals. A ton-up girl fixing her Triumph, 1950s. Warm lunch vending machine at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. One of the first public demonstrations of a computer mouse, graphical interface, windowing system, hypertext, and text editor, 1968. Madonna inside her East Village apartment in 1983. The Johnstown Flood, 1889. Robert Redford won for Best Director for Ordinary People at the 1981 Academy Awards. Let's talk about Soviet prison tattoos from the 1960s to the 1980s. The World War II Battle of Los Angeles against non-existing Japanese aircraft over the skies of Southern California, Los Angeles, February 1942. Indian Snake Charmers, 1899. President George W. Bush stepped on First Lady Barbara Bush's foot while boarding Air Force One at Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland, September 22, 1989. Microsoft CEO Bill Gates launches Windows 95 before a crowd of thousands in Redmond, Washington. Monica Bellucci by Frederick Malin, 1991. In the Ethiopian Army of 1880, soldiers did not wear shoes. A Last Dance at Fort Bragg. Soldiers enjoy a night out before deployment, 1942. Donald Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell in 1997. Folks in a turf house in Drenthe, Netherlands in 1936. A turf hut was generally built in peat bogs as a temporary shelter. It was where the poorest people lived. Pregnant Jackie Kennedy enjoying a cigarette, 1963. President Truman and the Committee for the Renovation of the White House, 1949. Red Hot Chili Peppers around 1986. Women at the gym in the 1940s using the wall bars. Pink Floyd showing off their equipment, 1969. A pair of bound Korean civilian hands and a breathing hole in the snow at Yangju, Korea, January 27, 1951. Andre holding and posing 4 models in the 1980s. Mads Mikkelsen in the 90s. Young Adam Sandler, 1983. The first ever confirmed photo of a Nazi gas van taken around 1941. Ronald Reagan gets a visit from 2 people dressed up as a horse in 1989. Hitler, Helga, and Joseph Goebbels. Tramcar, street cleaning, 1951, Leningrad. Surfers, USA, 1960s. George Clooney, age 15. Gina Lollobrigida, 1951. Burned out vehicles on the streets of Prague, August 1968.